you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes, and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than.
Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights, man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands, we run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allan, yeah. Way more than a fan, we got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the break, it's fast break. We on the break, it's fast break. Let's go.
We're brothers, we're happy, and we're potting, and we're colored. Give me a high.
Classic.
What up? Bang the button. Wheel it. More fire. One, big up yourself. One big up Fastbreaks, one big up basketball community, one big up. It's the playoffs. You know what time it is. Listen, the fellas got the right energy today. Let me tell you, Fastbreaks family. We're going to get into it. Listen, family matters. And we are a family. And sometimes family got to get into it. We're going to get right into these matchups. I'm telling you right now, Fastbreaks family, if you are a Celtic or Magic fan, you can log out.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
If you are a Miami Heat or Cleveland Cavalier fan,
you can actually log out.
Go ahead and click over. If you are a Thunder or Grizzlies fan, go home.
Even the Thunder fans?
Yes,
nice as they are.
Go home. Ain't nothing to talk about with y'all today. All right, we're gonna get right into it, and I'm coming straight for heads. Knicks Pistons. Right. Paul, go. Go.
They can't guard us. They got nothing. The game we lost was because we gave it up.
That's a fact.
Pause.
That's a fact.
No. You said we coming for heads. Who got the more pause?
Continue. Go.
We let that rock.
We can't retroactively.
He's right. He's right.
We
can't retroactively pause though.
That's a fact.
It's crazy.
No, you can. Oh, Allan, let's go.
Listen,
says the pause MVP 2 years running.
I'm the pause MVP, bro.
Why? 100%.
No.
You got
You kind of got it.
You got no with no regard for human life.
Nah, y'all niggas just soft. That's what's going on. Get pause for everything, man. I feel like that's a hard head. Pause. What?
All right. Anyway, Paul, how can you say that they can't guard you when you won Game 3 by 2 points?
No, because even Game 3, you said? The problem is that Cade is different. The Pistons are going to be a problem.
One day,
a problem. And I knew this from last year, too, because I remember last year, Cade had a game. We beat the Pistons easily. But he went like 14 for 17. Like, he be having these wild field goal percentages against the Knicks. And a lot of teams, too, but especially the Knicks. It's hard to guard Cade. OG is having problems with Cade. But Cade can't do anything with Cade. You understand? Cade, get hit. listen, I was thinking about this too. Jaden Ivey, it's next year we're gonna know. We're gonna know what he's made of. We forgot he's their second leading scorer. So if he was there, that could help them or hurt them. Because he's not a 3-point shooter like Tim Hardaway is, and he can't get his offense like Tobias. So it's like, let's see where he fits in and how good he really is. But Cade is the issue, but they can't guard us. They got one guy, we got two that they can't hold, and Michaela's doing this thing too. So
I think part of the issue is they probably played as good of a game as they could play. In game 3, they shot 43% from 3. I mean, when you get a Tim Hardaway, I mean, how long have I been begging for Tim Hardaway to be utilized with heavy usage in an offense in the playoffs? I was saying that last year in the Mavericks. I was saying it for many years. So you get that Tim Hardaway game, 7 threes. You get Dennis to shoot 4 threes. Malik Beasley 2 of 10 is tough, but he still hit 2, and then Cade's doing what he does. I don't see them being able to play much better than that. And they still low. I mean, I guess you can have all that happen and Tobias have a good game, but I think that's their main roster construction issue. All their scoring is in the perimeter. So it's impossible for them to have a full balanced, productive game. Someone's giving it up, right? Like Cade is going to do him, but you're going to get Tim and Dennis, or you're going to get Malik and Tobias. You can't get all 4 of them, and they have zero paint presence in terms of a scoring perspective. And I think that's the problem, because Cat is lacing you and lacing all your bigs, and you have nothing to make him play any defense, which is the problem, right? Cat is who you want to expose, but you don't really have anything to expose. He can help off everything and without much worries.
Actually, I want to push back on that point for a second, because I don't know that I would say they have no paint presence. I mean, their paint presence is also Cade Cunningham.
From a scoring perspective, I would say.
No, I know. From a scoring perspective, there are a number of – they happen a lot in game 2, not as much in game 1 and not as much in game 3, and I hope it stays an isolated event. But Cade Cunningham was able to dribble left, crossover left, and go straight down the middle, and Cat's just looking at him like, man, I wish someone was there to stop him. It's you, brother. It's you. Who's something about it? But it keeps happening. And if we don't, it might not be a big problem versus Detroit, but the next round we got the Celtics, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum will live off of that. Yes. So we got to shore that up immediately. Mitch, I know we can't play Mitch a whole ton of minutes because he's still, he's gone all year. Injury still.
And we're playing him though. You can play him when he's ready.
We're not playing him as much as we can, and I don't think we can play him more than we do.
No, we can.
I don't know.
This is a Tibbs thing.
I don't know that we can. Also, can we? I mean, if we're going to talk about the Knicks, we also got to talk about the bad bench use, bad bench production, and bad bench use.
This has been the Knicks issue all year. It's not going to change.
Yes, it can change.
It can. It needs to.
Not, I didn't say it could or couldn't. I said it's not going to.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby getting 42 minutes is ridiculous. 42 out of 40.
Mikal tried to warn about this months ago. This exact issue, he tried to bring it up months ago, and we see how that went. Nothing's happening with that.
There's no reason.
I'm going to say this now. I don't want to say this because I don't want to put it in the universe, but we know what's going to eventually happen.
Nothing. We're healthy. We got into the playoffs healthy this year for the first
that's a fact. This is the first.
Nothing.
That's fair enough.
This is the first.
Listen, somebody.
I think
that's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Allan.
Yeah, it's not only just like the bench and stuff, but I don't know how to say, like, Tibbs, like, he's not really that creative with the offense, I realized. Like,
he's not.
Watching the Knicks, y'all should be way nicer than what y'all record is.
Yes, we should.
Like, this is why we sound the way we sound.
Yeah, I'm just now realizing that.
Game 2 is a perfect example of that, because what happens is whoever gets a rhythm early keeps the usage. So game 2, Mikal and Jalen got going early, and then you end up with Towns and OG and Anunoby only having 21 shots between the two of them, and that's why you lost. Because eventually Mikal cooled off. He finished 8 of 18, 3-11 from the 3. He had 19 points, but I mean he was a +1. And then Jalen Brunson
missed a lot of shots late in the game.
Yeah, and then even Jalen Brunson for his 37 points, he was a -2.
Well, those are the flip-flop scores, right? Because Jalen Brunson struggled early, and then Mikal struggled late. And that's why you need Cat throughout, because Cat doesn't really struggle like that. And he's not going to struggle against a team. Look, he's getting guarded.
He's your steadier. He's how you keep your floor.
He's getting guarded by Tobias Harris, and he's dogging. He's dogging him, bro.
Well, no,
And
he
you know what's
dogged him
funny?
last game. He's not dogging
Yeah.
him for the series.
There were-
If he was
Oh,
dogging
he's
him for the
dogging him
series,
for the series. He's averaging
No,
like 28.
you would have won game 2 if he was dogging him for the series.
That
No,
wasn't
he
his
would have won
fault.
game 2 if he got the ball more in game 2.
That's my point.
That's no. That's not the
his
same
fault,
thing.
though.
When he
That's
got
not
the
the same
ball,
thing.
he
No.
was dogging him. When he didn't get the ball, it couldn't happen. So
You
it's not
can't
that.
dog somebody if you didn't get the ball.
That's my point. That's literally the point.
He say, I understand what
Isn't that my point?
No,
That's-
Nah, because there's a difference between not doing your job and
I'm
not
not
being
coming. I'm not coming at Cat. I'm saying the lack of use of Cat in game 2 is why you lost.
correct. I'm saying where he gets the ball and the appropriate amount of touches, he is dogging whoever is guarding him. And that just so happens to be Tobias Harris, and sometimes happens to be Duran, but very rarely. Tobias
What's
Harris
funny?
cannot guard him whatsoever.
What's funny is Tobias does a better job than Jalen Duran.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Which is
Duran-
funny because he's
Duran
like a
can't
three.
leave his
He's
feet.
veteran. He's just a veteran. That's all it is. Duran is wet behind the ears. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, but Cat does that to everybody now.
No, but
Cat's
I
different.
don't know. I've seen Cat more times than he should have. He's a 7-footer that weighs like 250. And I've seen him more often than not.
I give him 232.
All right. But I'm giving him 250.
He's a little light. He's a little light in the caboose.
I've seen what?
Those are guard legs he has under him. Those aren't.
I've
big
seen
man
him
legs.
more often than not. Not just get past. I've seen him blow by Tobias like a guard.
Yo, Hikey, we should put out a Fast Breaks basketball dictionary because you know why the name. You know why we do that because
I knew you would like that.
because that's how you actually have proper arguments and not argue past each other. You actually define what
fact.
everyone's talking about so we can be
That's
on
a
the same
fact.
page about what we're arguing about.
That's a fact.
It's fine. It's a good idea.
That's a fact. In the next 5 years, look out for the Fast Breaks basketball.
That's gonna be merch. That's gonna be merch. That's gonna be merch.
I like that. I like that idea.
That's gonna be merch.
I like this. The name guy.
It's the title.
First entry, nice.
First
First entry is nice. We gotta define.
nice.
We gotta define nice.
What
Gotta
is
define that.
really who? How are you?
Who's really nice? And who's really good? Who's really
nice?
good? That's the second entry.
There's a difference between nice and good.
So Paul, what do you think about how does this end? Do you think the Pistons get another one or the Knicks take these next two?
No. Sorry, but no.
I could see Tibbs, because that's the thing. Like you can't trust that guy, man. Tom Tibbs. It's like honestly, we should be up 3-0, but because of the coaching mistakes he made, which he fixed in game 3,
Right.
it's
Say
hard
more
to
about
say.
that. Say more about that. What were they?
So all right. So first of all, right, game 1, this man campaign scores 12 points in the fourth quarter. That 21, what was it, 23-0 run in the fourth?
Yeah.
It was 90-something% Jalen Brunson and campaign.
Yep.
This
and
man
then he
campaign.
gets 4 minutes in game 2.
Exactly. He gets in the game. He doesn't have a positive or negative impact, but he doesn't get another
He
chance.
didn't
to
record a
impact
stat. His
game.
stat. He
That's how
recorded
Tom
3
Thibodeau
fouls.
is. That brought me back.
To last year.
No, I was saying last year in the regular season, not last year or 2 years ago, I think in the regular season, this man Austin Reeves had 25 in the first. Not Austin Reeves, Austin Rivers had 25 in the first half, and did not see the court for the whole third quarter, and barely played in the fourth. This is who Tom Thibodeau is. So he fixed a lot of go through Cat more in game 3. Right, where he got iced out in game 2. Part of that was on Jalen Brunson as well, but I expect Jalen Brunson to self-correct and never go back. Can't say the
6
same with
turnovers
Tibbs.
by Jalen Brunson in game 2.
Yes, 6 turnovers. Because he was forcing the issue.
Oh, because he's
What
also
else?
getting guarded by guys that are 6'7" and 6'8". I mean, he's a 6'1" guard.
Pass the
Right,
ball.
but right that yeah. Because the problem is we have walking mismatches on the court. We don't have to play the same way all the time. That's why this team has so much potential, because we have versatility. not with OG ascending the way he is, looking like a young Kawhi.
Very
Now
much
we-
so.
Like
The movements are even the same. The movements are
the
actually
same
the
time.
same.
The same
Well,
time.
he was in practice
Yeah,
with
like-
him. He was getting
Yeah.
the sauce.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a good point.
That's
I'm
it.
telling you,
He was
the
getting
way I
sauce.
saw him move the other game, I was like, "Yo, wait a minute, that actually looks like Kawhi."
I'm
Can I
gonna
ask
see
y'all a
that.
question?
All he needs, listen, all he needs to go off every game is one or two baddies sitting courtside and good memory of what Kawhi was doing. That's all he's gonna do, man. That's all he's
I
gonna
don't
do.
like you. I don't
Dolan.
like you putting those two things together.
But that's what it is. Because when it happens, he
I
goes
don't-
off.
I don't like
When
you
it
putting
happens, he
those
goes
two
off. I don't
I
care
don't-
if you don't like it. It's the facts.
James Dolan, Sonny Lee should never have to pay for Knicks tickets ever again.
Facts.
Can I ask y'all a question before we get off this series?
Sure.
Do you think that
Hey, take that comment down. Take that comment down right now.
do you think that it's we talk about the offensive issues and the source of them being Tibbs in the ways that Tibbs is the source of the offensive issues are clear, right? Do you think, because I heard you say part of that was Jalen Brunson's fault. Do you think for this Knicks team to take a jump, do you think there is a next level of being a playmaker that Jalen Brunson has to take?
Yes,
I think he took. I think he took it this year already. It's just that
Agreed.
he had a bad game.
Agreed.
Game 2.
Agreed. Because he jumped up from 5 assists to 7 assists. He's looking to make those reads.
But if we think about
That's
the
where the ish
elite,
comes
if we
in.
think about the elite point guards, right, and also not even just the point guards, the elite players that force a double. Why isn't, with all these weapons, why isn't Jalen Brown? Why isn't Jalen Brunson a double-digit assist guy consistently?
Because he
That's
doesn't.
that's not his play style, but does that need to be an evolution? Does he need to learn how to manipulate these double teams and this overage coverage to get all these weapons going?
No,
I don't think so at all. First and foremost, when you look at
Would he be a more dominant player if he did, though? If he was a 30
I don't
and
think so.
12 guy,
I don't know.
consistently?
30 and 12 is crazy.
what is Steph
But
Curry?
that's
6'1".
the standard, though, right?
Is it
Like
the
when we
standard?
talk about-
No, it's
Is
not.
it the standard?
No, it's not.
Was Kyrie ever a 30 and 12 guy?
No,
Was
he
Steph
wasn't.
Curry
I
ever-
never. Yeah, but Kyrie was never the guy on his team, and when he was, it didn't work because of his play
Okay.
style.
But Steph Curry is always the guy on his team, and he's never a 30 and 12 guy.
Yeah, but they don't have an offensive issue. Their system takes care of everybody.
That's true.
When you talk about guys, when you talk about the other guys in the NBA who are elite, who they are the system, they're only successful when those guys are high assist guys. Your Hardens, your Lucas, your Jokic's, your LeBrons. Right? If we put Jalen Brunson in that category as the team goes as he goes, does he have a little bit of work to do? I mean, you can see, and we're going to get to this series next, and this is maybe my transition. I'm in real time watching Ant go through that process right now. We watched Jason Tatum go through that process all last year, right? Where you have to become an elite playmaker when you're the guy and you got weapons, right? So he had 9 assists last game, and we saw how that worked. Like, does he have to take it to another level and tear up and play chess against these defenses?
I understand what you're saying, but here's why I disagree, because of the makeup of the Knicks, right? The Knicks
Say
have
more.
multiple. The Knicks have multiple guys that could get their own shot, and they need to get their own shot. If they don't get their own shot, then you try to play make for them, they're gonna just miss these shots.
Why
more
is that?
often than not?
Why
Because
is
a lot of them are the type of guys that need, they're rhythm guys. A lot of, like, Michaela's a rhythm guy. OG right now is becoming more of a rhythm guy. Michaela, OG on the defensive end, when they get touches, they play better defense. I don't like that, but it's the truth, right?
Also, a lot of these guys.
And then Cat,
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
land.
Sorry.
then Cat, we know what he could do in the post for the top of the key. We know, so it's like 7 assists with these type of guys actually like
It's
impressive. And when you look at the team like the Celtics, it's a similar thing with Jason Tatum, right? Like Jason Tatum, he play makes, but sometimes you're gonna have to just allow guys to do their thing and you space the floor. That's part of the sacrifice. You understand?
Right.
Like these ball dominant guys like Garden, they were the offense because these other guys, like who Eric Gordon, outside of him, who else is getting their old shot? Trevor Ariza? Nah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
And to go off of Paul's point, also,
Andre, then Allen, and then I'll make a final point to wrap it up.
A lot of these guys that we rely on that are in our core rotation before they join the Knicks, they're the number 1 or number 2 guys on their team in terms of the offensive load. So they're not necessarily used to getting catch and shoot shots and letting other guys playmake for them.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I have some pushback on that.
Sure. So they're not necessarily used to doing that. So I think having guys like this that, as Paul said, make their own shot and are used to making their own shot with that kind of mindset, 7 assists is actually a pretty impressive number. And not to say that he's not looking to play make for them, because there are plenty of plays he actually is. So that's what I'm saying. The mindset's already there. The numbers may not always be there, but the way he needs to play, he's doing it.
Allan?
I don't necessarily agree with you that it would open up their offense more, but I think the way the Knicks play, specifically surrounding Jalen Brunson, like they'd always do like a high pick and roll and get him to play like downhill and play fast, go towards the basket.
Right.
I think his strength in being such a smaller guard is that it serves him well trying to like intent to score and get like foul and play physical that way. Sure. But I think, they control the pace that way and they are able to like get his points that way and buckets that way, that everything else comes a little bit more naturally. So I do understand your point, but I think to his strengths, I think it serves him better to play this way.
What would unlock the offense?
Hold on. Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, like one sentence. What would unlock the offense is a better offensive system, better plays.
Correct.
Yes. Exactly.
Tibbs.
So no,
yeah.
I again, I'm not trying to put this in contrast to Tibbs. We know where it. Yeah. What I'm saying is that it actually ties to Allan's point, right? Tibbs, I think, understands the strength of his best player, which is what Allan just said. Right now, the way Brunson plays and the way that the offense works is to Brunson's strength, which is why I'm kind of saying, like, is there somewhat, not a weakness, but is there room for improvement that if what I'm talking about became one of Brunson's strengths, then the offense could develop around that skill and add a new level of dynamism to it? Because I want to also push back on Andre's point that these guys aren't used to catch and shoot. Before they became Knicks, all of these guys were catch and shoot role players.
That's not true.
Except for Cat. All of them.
That's true. Mikhail spent the last 3 years as not a catch and shoot.
What was he the first 6 years of his career?
Yeah, he was a catch and shoot, but he's
okay. What was OG for the first 7 years of his career?
OG was a catch and shoot.
Right. So the notion that these guys in their relatively new roles of being rhythm guys is their intrinsic. I think though they've developed that based on the situations they were in, which were worse situations, right? The best success those guys have ever experienced in their career, they were catch and shoot guys. When OG was in Toronto and they won, catch and shoot 3-and-D guy. When Mikhail got to the finals in Phoenix, catch and shoot 3-and-D guy. They have these new habits and these new instincts based on worser teams, but they've played their best basketball from a team perspective when they had less load like that, and they were able to focus more on defense, and they were able to anticipate where their shots are going to come from. And the last point on this I want to push back on, because it's not a super heavy criticism. I'm just curious about it. The idea that y'all say a small guard can't be a dominant facilitator. Chris Paul's 21-year career.
Who said that?
Well, you all started this with like, he's a 6'1" guard. He's a 6'1" guard, as if that was supposed to be a weakness from his ability to be a high assist guy.
No, Chris, that wasn't.
Then why'd y'all keep bringing that up?
I brought it up because again, he's being guarded by guys that are 6'7" and 6'8".
And you're saying that to say what? You're saying
I'm saying that to say what? They're putting them in hard defensive possessions where they're able to get these steals and they're able to make it difficult for him to get these plays.
So you are saying that his size is a part of the weakness of making plays.
I'm saying it's part of the weakness of how it's not necessarily part of the weakness of his playing. It's part of the strength of the defense against him. So when we're saying, he's only getting 7 assists, first and foremost, it doesn't mean he has a weakness in making plays. 7 assists is still a strength.
Very lawyer-like.
But I'm not trying to go too deep in it. I'm just pointing out that I call cap on that because Chris Paul's 20-year career would serve the difference of that. If anything, Chris Paul's size, his biggest issue in the playoffs was not his ability to be an elite playmaker. His scoring would go down in the playoffs because it would be harder for him to be scored first. So Jalen Brunson being effective against height as a scorer, to my mind, actually means it would be easier. It would be easier for him to up his playmaking if he's able to score against all this height and length.
What was one of the
That's
biggest
all I'm saying.
criticisms? What was one of the biggest criticisms against Chris Paul from his Clippers days down?
He couldn't be a scorer as a closer of games because of his height. That was always the issue, and he never had a guy.
That
who
wasn't the
up.
only issue. That wasn't the only issue. You forgot.
Oh, you mean interpersonally?
No,
mean
not. Well, in a way, yes, slightly interpersonally. What did you say, Allan?
No, I asked him what was it? I don't remember.
I would challenge that no one on any of the teams he was on other than Houston had a right to have that beef.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Ball.
Just
dominance.
listen, me and Paul know what we're talking about.
Ball dominance. A lot
But
of
who did
people
he
say-
play with that should have gotten higher usage?
No, okay, so no. So
And
what
he
you're
did,
saying-
and Harden had the usage, and they almost won. They like.
But that point has nothing to do with what I'm saying though, because
Go ahead, then.
I'm
Go
relating it to Jalen Brunson,
Go ahead.
and there are guys who would have an issue. OG got a little ego this year. Knicks fan, real Knicks fans know OG is not. This is not the same OG from even last year.
No, I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
Listen, before you go down the whole thing, the adjustment I'm saying is not as major as y'all are defending against it. Like I'm not saying no, because I think because the most I know it's partially my fault because of the examples I brought up. I brought up the super high usage guys, but that's also because the guy I'm thinking about that doesn't exist in the NBA anymore. But that used to be what an elite point guard looked like. Like you don't have to be. I'm not saying these guys get reduced to only shooting catch and shoots, but I think a lot of Jalen Brunson's offensive style, like Andre said, is attack and react with a score first mentality. And I think, like you said, I think they could have a more diverse array of plays to run if the play was designed for Jalen Brunson to attack and distribute. I think distribute comes only as a reaction to the rotation, where I think Jalen Brunson could be more intentional in manipulating defense. I think LeBron is a better example, not from his total play style because he's super high usage, but when LeBron manipulates games, you can tell when he's in that mode, and it doesn't result in just a catch and shoot for guys. He gets the ball to guys in easy spots for them to do their work. And sometimes I see with Mikal and OG and Cat, they're getting a lot of bailout passes and then having to make something happen. I think Jalen Brunson did a better job of earlier in the shot clock getting the ball to these guys in positions on the floor where they can do work. Right now, it's like you spend 10 to 12 seconds of the possession, Jalen Brunson attacking, and then when they overload, it's a kick to Mikal or OG, and they have 7 seconds to get a bucket.
Particular, what you're saying, I think he got that down pack with Cat. It's just that game 2.
Yes.
But specifically with Mikal, he could do a better job with that.
That's all I'm saying.
Is getting. He's kind of becoming a scapegoat for Knicks fans for us not winning 60 games this year. Yes. Yeah, because I'm telling Knicks fans are not happy with the way the season turned out, and I'm one of them. We should have won 60 games at least.
Mm-hmm.
We should have. As talented as we are, we only won one more game than last year.
And a lot of it, Mikal was a scapegoat, and everyone was like, "Where is this Mikal Bridges that was a quasi all-star 20 points? He's getting the ball with 7 seconds left in the possession every time he touches it."
When Jalen Brunson went out, he got back to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now you have this issue, right? Where like now you have 4 guys who want to get a feel for it, and they haven't organized themselves on how to accomplish that. They just go off how the game's going, and I think that's what I'm saying is the next level. Like if Jalen Brunson as the head of the snake could approach games with a more intentionality of how he's going to get each of the 4 going at different points in the game, instead of just playing reaction basketball with a mindset of I gotta go and then I gotta make sure Cat goes. I think that would be a new level of offense because the Celtics, and this is my final point, when you said the Celtics do the same thing, that is the difference. We can tell when the Celtics have organized themselves for Jaylen Brown to go. We can tell when the Celtics have organized themselves to get Derek White some shots or to get Al Horford some shots. They are intentional about not playing his turn, my turn, but they're intentional about what are we trying to exploit in the defense in this run or for this period.
So that
And I
comes
think
down to coaching again. That comes down
it does, but your star player has to be skilled enough to play that way. And we
This
watch
is what I say though.
and I want to transition this to Lakers Timberwolves because we're watching Ant do this in real time right
Sure,
now.
but before we do, can I just finish the point I was making, which was it's not necessary. You said something pushing back that we've seen small guards be star facilitators, and that's true.
Against heightened size, because that was your point about it's tough, but like we've seen it.
Are too large. Yeah.
We've seen that.
We've seen it, but not. I'm talking about when he's getting guarded by Dennis Schroeder, he's doing exactly what you're talking about. When he's getting guarded by guys his size, he's doing exactly what you're talking about. If he's getting guarded by a 6'3" guy the entire game, he's averaging 45 and 15, 100%. So I'm not convinced that this is what's going to happen. We're not going to even see the next.
You need 40, 15, and 5. That's what you.
No.
I don't want to belabor the point.
15 assists.
I don't want to belabor the point because I think Paul got what I'm really trying to say, and I think you understand the nuance. It's a slight, really slight adjustment.
I understand what you're saying, but I just want to make sure my point was clear. It's not necessary.
Yeah, it was. I just feel like I've seen small guards do it against height.
But
small guards can do it. But he's doing it. Is my point.
This is what I'll say to close off. Right, I had 2 points. I'm going to combine. Right? What you're talking about,
so we can go in.
Okay, what you're talking about, Pharaoh, right?
Yeah.
Last game, four starters had 20 points in a playoff game for the first time in since the 70s for the Knicks, right? Literally since 72, right?
Yeah.
It did, but Brunson did not have 30 and 10, and it won't look like that.
He had 9.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying, like, you can't take the high usage away from what you are talking about. That's what I think. Because it's going to look like it is going to look like that. He's still going to have like 25, 27, maybe 30, maybe 7 to 9 assists. And that is the next level, right? It's a difference in mindset, not really stats, right? But
look, this is what I'm saying. It's shot attempts, right? Just in that point, I think you're right, but I think shot attempts tell me the whole difference, right? Because shot attempts tell me like what Brunson's intentions was when he's going downhill. He was 9 of 20 last night, and he was a +8. OG got 17 shots. Mikal got 13 shots. Towns got 18 shots. You look at game 2, he took 27 shots.
Fair. He knows what to do. Because game 3 he did it, and I've seen him do it numerous times during the game.
I don't think it's foreign. That's why I actually think I'm giving him a little more credit than you guys say. I think he is capable of it. Yeah. I think it's a slight adjustment in his and it's natural because even though it's his 3rd year in this role, like it's his 3rd year in this role. His prior role was exactly what we're not talking about, which was like you got to kill every time you touch it to keep defenses off Luka.
What I will say about
it's like Kyrie. I think Kyrie never successfully made this adjustment, right? He was the second guy whose mentality was kill every time you touch it, keep the defense off the main guy, and he never quite figured out how do I kill and get Tatum and Brown going? How do I kill and get Tatum and Gordon Hayward going? He never quite figured that out, right? And that's when he had that revelation when he talked to Bron and he was like, I get it, big bro, my bad. You had to manage me with a I'm going to kill you to my touching mentality while also making sure Kevin Love felt involved, while also making sure J.R. Smith got his, while also making sure Iman Shumpert got a run out and some dunks on fast breaks so he's energized to still play defense. It's hard, but it's like that next step. And I want to take this. Let's talk about Ant because we saw Tatum do it last year. Can we talk about how we're watching in real time Ant start to take that step?
I don't know if we could say Ant is really taking that next step though from last year because the thing with the Timberwolves is they play like he's surrounded by a bunch of catch and shoot guys. Julius Randle is turning into a catch and shoot guy in the playoffs because that's what the offense is. So he doesn't really have to make that change. His mindset is kill. They're gonna double pass an open shooter, and they hit it. No.
But I disagree because he's even talking about it in his post-game interviews. He's talking about how in last game, he said after game 2, he said, I stayed up till 4 a.m. and I watched a ton of film. And he said, I'm realizing I'm trying to figure out how to manipulate these doubles. He said this out of his own mouth. I'm trying to figure out how to manipulate. And I learned that it has to be with pace and that I have to go into the double quickly. And what does that do? It gives the kick out time.
Yes.
Right? It gives the kick out time to beat the rotation. I'm not giving a guy a catch and shoot with 2 seconds on the shot clock because I spent 7 seconds trying to score against the double. As soon as the double comes, let me bring it into the paint, make him sink, and hit my guy so that he has time to react. And he's learning this in real. Yeah, but they lost because he couldn't quite get there. And he'll say
now.
They lost because he couldn't quite get there, and the Timberwolves, you could effectively double Ant last year in the playoffs and shut their offense down. And I think he knows this, and he's earning a lot of my respect the way I'm hearing him talk coming out of the Olympics. He upped his three. He said all summer, I watched Steph's footwork. I watched KD's footwork. He said, I tried both to figure out who's felt more natural. And then I said, I'm going to start shooting more threes. You should open it up. And we saw him lead the league in threes. Right. And then now he's saying at the beginning of the year, he said, I've been watching Luka. He said, I've been watching Luka. I've been watching old LeBron tape. I'm trying to figure out I'm getting these doubles. I'm trying to figure out how to manipulate these doubles to get my guys going. Man. And we're watching him do it in real time. Because if you watch game 3, game 2, game 1, his guys were hot. He didn't have to do much because Julius was starting the possession with the ball a lot of times and everyone was hitting. Game 2, that wasn't the case. And Ant tried to go. And it looked like the old Timberwolves. You doubled Ant, hold him relatively down. No one else gets any rhythm. We blow him out, right? For most of the game. Game 3, you see the adjustment. He said he watched that film. He was driving with intent to pass. And I know like traditional coaches will say you should never drive with intent to pass. When you're at that level of threat, you can do that. Because you can anticipate. You can anticipate rotation, and if you anticipate it and drive with the intent to pass on time, you give your offense time to beat the rotation. When you wait till you see it and react, that 2 seconds of you having to go, oh, I'm not gonna be able to score and passing, you've robbed 2 to 4 seconds of your team being able to beat the rotation. That's why he's saying I'm playing faster. I'm driving, I'm getting to my spot in the paint and kicking. And they all his shooters kept the game close for him most of the game, right? We could never pull away. And then when did they pull away? Once he's got all his guys relatively in good rhythm and threat, then he killed. And he scored 14 points in the fourth. That's elite, right? That's the mode of elite players we see. I'm gonna attack the double all night, get these guys off me, make them have to second guess everybody in the corner on the wing. And then when they loosen that double up a little bit, fourth quarter, I kill and end the game. That was a masterclass by Ant, by a very young player, and why even though it's a little premature, that's why I was putting him in my top 10, top 11 of playoff guys. Because this guy has the blueprint of I'm not gonna say the names, but he's got.
You said the names already, so it's the same name.
He's got that blueprint, and I know it when I see it, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, oh, he's putting the pieces together. This guy is it's
against your team.
I love that though, right? I love that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because, you know why though? Because, and this is gonna come into my major point about the Lakers. First of all, the Timberwolves got lucky that Luka was sick last night. I'm gonna put that straight up because Luka was healthy with LeBron playing the way he played. Y'all was getting blown out because we had a 10-point lead on you most of the time, but all the LeBron off minutes, we couldn't hold it, and y'all were able to come back. If Luke is healthy, we pushed that to 20 just like game 2.
Couldn't hold it is an apt description for Luka's condition last night. Please keep going.
Yeah, I mean, he and I respect it because he tried to have a flu game, and he hit some stupid shots.
Yeah.
Some absolutely stupid shots, but I could tell from the first quarter he had no burst. So like when he was getting the mismatches on the switch, he couldn't blow by guys to get those and one floaters, and his personal runs are what bridged the non-LeBron minutes. Even AR had it going. There's no way in the world AR and Bron play like that, and you typically beat us unless Luka isn't Luka, which he wasn't. But ultimately, the reason why I like that this is happening in real time with Ant versus us is because it wakes Luka up, right? Like Luka woke up in game 2, and that's what we needed. He couldn't do it this game. Hopefully, he gets an IV. Hopefully,
What did they say what's wrong with him? What did he sick
stomach
with?
Stomach bug.
Okay.
And he played through it. You got everybody sick last night. Oh nah. What do you mean? What do you mean, man?
They said it happened right as he landed in Minnesota. I'm jacking. What airline did they use? What hotel did they stay in?
They tried to poison him like they did Michael
Jordan. Hey, bro.
Conspiracy theories.
Man.
But he almost booted on the court like 4 times. Like there were 4 times where he dead was like on the side, like
Yeah, he looked sick when he was on the
and then
bench.
the play would come down and he'd be like, shit. So that's
And he's
why I like
still
it.
17. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
I think the best players get pushed when they see someone knocking on their door. So
Yeah.
and I think LeBron sees it and he loves it. I think that's why LeBron upped his game last night because he was like, and him and Ant was laughing together the whole game, former teammates in the summer. Like I think LeBron sees it and respects it, and I think it's gonna wake Luka up. I think Luka is his best when he feels challenged. Like he's not like KD. He ain't gonna laugh when you talk to him. Like he's an asshole. He's gonna get a kill. So I think ultimately, if Luka is able to get right, Ant's play is actually gonna push Luka to dismantle them because they still can't guard him and they don't have an answer for that. The 2 games they've won, it's because they have successfully out physicaled us and their guys have made key shots. But even last night, I still see their downfall habits. They foul too much. And their possessions get too long when Ant, like he says, doesn't play fast enough. They didn't fix that. They just were able to survive that last night because we didn't have enough offense, because we didn't have Luka going. So ultimately, my analysis is if Luka's right, he's going to exploit all those problems. He's going to foul Naz Reid out. He's going to have Julius in foul trouble all night. Dante DiVincenzo is making a lot of mental mistakes right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they overcome them, especially if Rui Hachimura learns to box out. But what we found is Jordan Goodwin is going to start getting a lot of Rui's minutes because Jordan Goodwin fights. And Vando is going to start playing 30 minutes a game because I think it's personal for Vando because it's the Timber, like, and they like he is an exact match to their energy. And he's gonna get someone thrown out of a game in this series. But that's my take, Allan, because the Knicks fans just went off on about the Knicks. So Allan, what do you say?
Wait. So I agree with everything you said about Ant, and I want to say it's dope as hell watching this fast upward progression.
It's so fun, right?
It's so dope. I love it. Because last year he took out KD. This year he might have a chance to take out LeBron. Like you can't ask for nothing.
And Luka.
But and Luka. That's a fact. But I wrote in my notes a couple things I wrote is that so I picked Lakers to win in 6 games because I thought the Timberwolves was going to get killed on the matchups. I thought that the Lakers were going to like just switch the whole time and the 3-headed monster of Luka, LeBron, and Reeves just going to kill them on the matchups all game long for the whole series. I will say they're doing a much better job than I thought they would of like not falling for the switch. They do a good job of like hedging and
fighting
like
through,
fighting through and hedging and not letting the Lakers just get any matchup they want. And just like Rose said before, it allows them to be physical and like not foul bait and draw things like that. So I think they're doing that good job of that. And other than that, I still think the Lakers are going to win, but they're doing a better job on defense. Much other than that, I still think the Lakers are going to win though, because it really falls down to like their bigs. Obviously Naz Reid and obviously Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, and I just don't trust them on defense like that. So we're going to see how the next couple games goes.
You don't trust your boy Nas on defense?
I hate to say it.
He's a fouler, bro. He's a hack, bro. He's a
fouler. I hate to say it, but the hometown kid, I hate to say it, but he's a fouler.
He always threatening to slap everybody. He ain't slapped not near nobody.
Whoa, dude. He would slap somebody. A Dark City boy would slap somebody. Don't
I
get
want
it
to see it.
twisted.
All right, then slap somebody, bro. I'm tired of him telling all my players he slapped the shit out of them and ain't slapped shit yet. Do something then, bro. Like, I don't like all that. I don't like all that posturing, bro.
Get thrown out.
At least Draymond, bro, when he talk, you know he mean that, bro. Like Isaiah Stewart, when he talk to you, you know he mean that, bro. Don't talk like that if you ain't gonna do nothing, bro. Like I don't like that.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I can see this going 7 though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's possible. If Luka's not right, it's possible. Literally because of last night, like literally because they got 2 wins, it's possible. I thought if Luka was healthy, they would have won last night and it would have been 5. But I think it's definitely 6 now, obviously, and it's possible for 7 if Austin Reeves has another bad shooting night, we can lose.
Yeah, for sure. There's an avenue for them to win, for sure.
And the thing is I don't think. See, here's the thing, right? in the NBA today, people still talk like good shooting games, like what the Timberwolves had in game 1, are an aberration.
That was an aberration, though.
But hold on, though. A lot of those shots, I watched that game. They were open.
Yeah,
but they've missed those exact same shots these last 2 games.
But they are very capable of doing that again. It's not like it was 10, 20 years ago. Like if you leave guys open for a series, they could hit and kill you the whole time. Like you could live at like it's possible.
I think so, but I think you have to play percentages. I think actually a large part of last night that killed us was a lot of our overreacting to kickouts. Right? Like they have lasers. We know who the lasers are. Dante, Conley, and Reed, right? But why are we running out on closeouts and jumping at Jaden McDaniels pump fakes? That man had 30 points and 26 of them were in the paint. Why are we jumping out on Jaden McDaniels pump fakes? Why are we jumping out on Julius Randle pump fakes? Like I think game 1 is haunting us a little bit still, and it's allowing them to beat us on a lot of closeouts and flybys. I think if we get more disciplined on those, like we kind of were in game 2, again, I think we'll be fine. This is a great matchup for if we're gonna make a run. This is a great first matchup for us to identify bad habits and to identify how hard we have to play, which I didn't think would be an issue because the only starter that we have that's not experienced is Jackson Hayes. But I think Rui, I don't know what's good with Rui, but Rui has to wake up, and I think Luka might have thought Timberwolves were a little sweeter than they are.
Yeah. I did. I certainly thought they were.
I didn't because Ant because I'm like Ant is on that progression, and basically like if you go to conference finals the year before, like I know where his mind is at. He don't care about seed. He's like, in my journey, it's time for next step. So that's the energy.
No, I agree with you. But I was under the mindset that this man, Julius Randle, was going to Julius Randle.
Me too.
And what Julius Randle is showing is that he's not made for New York. He was never made for New York.
What he's showing is that Tibbs didn't actually know the best way to use him.
Nope. Not true. Not true. Absolutely incorrect.
Or playoff basketball. Wait,
no.
Let me just elaborate real quick, shortly.
Go ahead.
I always said this. When I was trying to defend Julius Randle, I always said this. I said the way Julius Randle plays in the regular season that looks productive, that has y'all hype, I always said he is not going to be able to play that style in playoff basketball.
So
and the reason, it's about style, bro. And I always said it. When it got to the playoffs, if he tried to play that style, he was going to struggle. The style that he's playing now, it looked like he was having an off year regular season, right? Or he was doing less regular season, but it looks good in the playoffs, right? That's just his skill set. His skill set, for that to be effective in the playoffs, it requires this style. Now, it would sound crazy when he's in New York because it's like, yo, he's an all-star playing like this with the ball in his hand, dribbling, being a mid-range, playing like a 3. I told you, in the playoffs, Julius Randle's skill set, he is a 4, bro. That man is not a small forward. He is a 4.
Yeah, but he wanted to play like a small forward. So whose fault is that?
Why do you? But here's the thing. Why do we say that? Why do we say that he wanted to play like a 3?
Because we see the way he plays. He tries to go off from the wing.
But it's okay. If you're the big name, right? If you're the pre-Brunson, right? If you're the big name and Tibbs puts the ball in your hand, and we know what Tibbs' offense looks like, and he plays you like a 3. I had the same point with. Yeah, but I had the same point with Tatum. Like, why are we putting like if the player is playing the way the coach wants him to play? When did that become a bad thing?
Listen. I agree with you to an extent, but we need to remind the people how bad Julius Randle has.
We know it was horrible, but I don't think
we really know. I don't think we really know. We gotta go over the stats.
Here's the thing.
The third worst field goal percentage in playoff history.
I was banking so much.
There's no excuse for him to fall off of a cliff that far.
Yes, it is.
The Lakers are messing up my parlay right now. I was banking so hard on Julius Randle messing everything up. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a bet at work. I have a bet at work right now, man. Y'all are going to make me owe somebody some freaking shiny food.
Do you
Like, this
see
is
where?
crazy.
Do you see where
Get
Julius
your
Randle?
stuff together, man.
Thank you, Gordon. It's Tibbs' fault. What is Julius Randle playing style for the Timberwolves that's effective in the playoffs?
Whatever Anthony Edwards says it
Hold
is,
on.
man.
No, relax. Can we talk real basketball for a second, please? It's the playoffs. Can we be serious for a second?
No.
He's getting the ball on the block, on dives, and on switches. Right? And he's doing the majority. Yes, he's doing the majority of his work against mismatches, using his height, using his strength, offensive rebounding, and the occasional kick out three. He's not taking fades. He's not taking step back mid-range jump shots. He's not trying to cross over to get into the paint.
But you know what he is doing? Hitting open jump shots. He couldn't even do that in the playoffs.
He couldn't do that on the Knicks.
Because he had no rhythm because he spent the first 3 quarters trying to be mellow.
That's not true.
No, that's
not true.
That's disingenuous. That's a good way to talk based on his stats and what you're saying about his game. It makes sense, but it is not true. He was not made for New York. Straight up, he couldn't make an open jump shot to save his life in the playoffs.
Come on, man.
He wasn't made for New York. Everybody's not made for New York.
Bro, but
he wasn't made for New York.
That's really tough basketball, bro.
I know that is a part of the game.
You can't. I would agree with you if he was playing like his regular season Knicks self for the Timberwolves in the playoffs. Then I would say, oh, it was the lights. Because you can do that successfully. You just didn't do it here. But it's the fact that on the court, I'm watching him play a complete different way.
Because the lights in Minnesota are smaller. Come on, man. And the thing is, to him, he's not thinking he's got to succeed. So the pressure is off also.
Right.
The pressure's not on him.
Wait. What did you say? He thinks he doesn't have to succeed?
Not succeed. Let me rephrase.
He doesn't. No. I know what he meant. He
doesn't think he needs to be the man. He's the number one option. He doesn't have to be the guy.
What does that have to do with your shot profile?
It has to do with your confidence and your ability to make shots.
What does it have to do with your shot profile?
It has a lot to do because he's getting the same shots, but he was missing those shots in New York.
He's not taking the same shots at all. It's
open shots that he was missing in New York. I'm not hearing this.
The man went 4 for 6 in game 1. He was not going 4 for 6, even with Jalen Brunson, who's an aggressive guard. He was never going to do anything like that in New York. Let's call a spade a spade. Like the shot profile. I get the shot profile, but you don't have to fall off a cliff for you 30%. That's different.
That's disgusting.
If you were in the 40s, Allan, I would hear you, but 30,
Allan, what's your take on this?
I agree with you, Pharaoh. I think his shot profile is totally different. His role is different. He is more so like he's facilitating a lot more on here because of the help that Ant is getting. And yeah, like I said, I don't think it's the same shot. So I think it's not fair. I'm not saying y'all are wrong in saying like whatever his mentality about New York is, but he's playing like a whole different player. I don't think it's fair.
Really different to say player,
he's not. I don't think it's fair to say that like the New York Lights.
If he was used this way, if he was used this way, yeah, but you're stripping context. He's hitting open jump shots when the rest of his game is going this way. When he gets to start the game, 2 dunks, a couple layups, post ups, some putbacks, and gets a rhythm, yeah, then maybe in the third quarter he's gonna hit some open shots. In New York, when he spends the first 2 quarters taking fadeaways and step back mid ranges and is bricking them, you're dragging
it. In the play, listen. In the fade, he wasn't taking fades all game. Especially when Jalen Brunson came.
You got it.
Come on, man. You dragging it.
You got it. I'm not doing this.
You dragging it. Talk about fades.
You're just servicing our fans, but not really analyzing what's happening.
I am analyzing it. He could have made an open jump shot.
You just don't agree.
You're dragging. Look, the fades. I get it. That was a part of his game for a lot of his time in New York. But when Jalen Brunson came, he took a step back. And he still could have performed in the playoffs. So, no, I don't want to hear
his role took a step back. Did his shot profile change when Jalen Brunson came to the team?
In the playoffs, he was in the post a lot more. His shot profile was altered a little bit.
He was missing at the
all the way. He couldn't read a double team.
All right.
He couldn't read a double team.
I'll take you genuinely. If you answer this one question for me. Is his shot profile in the playoffs for the Knicks anything similar to his shot profile for the Timberwolves?
When we got Jalen Brunson, it was close. It was very close. I watched it. It was very close.
There's nothing for us to talk about.
When we got against the Hawks before Jalen Brunson, it was completely different.
If you think he's taking the same shots,
when we got Jalen Brunson and we played against the
wait, Paul. Let me hear what's the difference? We're talking about post Jalen Brunson. What's the difference, Pharaoh?
He's playing like a bruiser. He's exploiting mismatches on a post
Shot
up.
profile. I want to hear the shot profile. What are these shots?
He's selling you, Andre. Let him go. Go. Go.
Because he was always playing like a bruiser, but keep going.
The majority of his early looks are coming between 2 to 7 feet from the basket. He's getting dump offs, he's getting putbacks, and he's diving on pick and rolls. He's not popping for a mid-range post up. He's not posting up high. He's not facing up, dribbling, and trying to attack people off the dribble. He's backing them down, trying to shoot over his left shoulder, and he's taking little floaters in the lane off closeouts to start the game. I'm talking about the way he progresses through the game, his shot profile. He starts close to the basket, and then as he gets his rhythm, he then takes standstill open jumpers. I haven't seen him take now one post fade this entire postseason. I haven't seen him take now one step back midi. I haven't seen him try to cross someone up into a jump shot. He doesn't do any of that. None of that mellow stuff.
I agree, but the problem is with your argument is that when we went to the playoffs, when we just got Jalen Brunson, he was doing a lot of those same things.
I disagree.
You could say if you want,
highly disagree. We can pull the tape.
We could pull the tape because I remember him doing a lot of the same things.
We're not there yet in our production.
In the playoffs, that's a fact. In the playoffs in 2022, I believe, or 23, right? He was getting a lot of those same looks, and he was turning the ball over, and people made the excuse that he was injured. He was playing injured. And that's why he didn't play well.
Was he bad to basket or was he facing up?
It didn't matter. You said it was 2 to 7 feet for the basket.
I just pulled up Julius Randle low lights play up. I'm not watching him dribble the ball in the corner, turnover in the corner for 3 against the Cavs. Against the Cavs, I see him now dribbling up from the top, facing up, trying to spin off someone, turnover. Face up, trying to blow by, trying to do it behind the back, turnover.
I watched the whole game. Even when he got the ball he wasn't making good reads.
Trying to cross over, turnover. Face up from the 3-point line, trying to drive between his legs, takes a fader, turnover.
Wait, hold on. I have a question for you. If he gets the ball,
dribbling the ball up, trying to dribble straight in, do a Euro step, turnover.
I'm asking you a question. If he gets the ball in the same possession,
trying to drive lefty.
If he gets
playing like a small forward in all this tape, bro.
If he gets the ball in the positions where you say he should get the ball, and he chooses to face up instead of post up, whose fault is it?
I think it's a combination of him deciding to play that way and the system coaches that Tibbs is putting in. Same thing we just said with Brunson. It's partially how they play, but it's partially that's what Tibbs was running for him. He was running Julius Randle like a 3, and Chris Finch said, "You're not doing none of that.
I think
you are a power forward, sir."
He wasn't made for New York. I'm standing on that because there's no excuse for playing that bad.
Why did this guy just take a hezzy pull-up 3? They ran pick and roll for Julius. He came off and took a step in 3. What this guy's playing like he's Paolo Banchero and all this film.
You're watching.
I'm not watching his entire Hawk series.
Well, you're watching the worst possessions. You're watching the worst possessions is the low lights. If you watch the games,
but that's my point is that he has none of these moments with the Timberwolves. He doesn't do any of this BS at all.
Because he's not in New York. He wasn't made for New York. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right, we're moving on. Let's go to State Houston. What do we see?
They need Jimmy Butler. That's what I see.
So we're overreacting to game 3 is what we're doing?
Yes.
All right.
That's my whole position. I'm sorry. Maybe you all can disagree with me, but your second best player getting hurt like that. I mean, it's what we know about. It's what we've said about Steph Curry in the past. Maybe there's a slight indictment that he needs another running mate or whatever to be successful.
So you think the Rockets win tonight in Golden State?
Without Jimmy's not there,
you've lost your mind.
Listen, Jimmy Butler's not there. Unless Steph Curry drops like 40, 50 and demoralizes these teams early, I don't know that he's going to win this game.
What do you think is going to happen in the third quarter in Chase Center tonight?
I hope to see him demoralize these guys early. But you got to remember, Steph's 37, man. He's getting tired and old, man. He can't always just be doing that. He needs help.
LeBron is taking that excuse away. I don't want to hear it because LeBron just had 40 last night.
I just watched LeBron hit the side of the backboard, man. He gets tired.
He had 40. He had 40
He
though.
gets tired
He had
too,
40.
man.
He had 40.
His
He had
running
40.
mate was
He had
sick,
40.
but he had a
40.
second running mate. He has guys
40.
that give him breath of fresh air in the middle.
Luka
of the
didn't
game.
do anything last night, and he had 40.
Luka had 17 while being sick. Austin Reeves had 20. That's a lot of help. Steph doesn't have that in Golden State. The first guy that helped him all season was Jimmy Butler. Everybody else is buns.
Maybe they should play
Everybody
Jonathan
else.
Kuminga. Maybe they should play Jonathan Kuminga.
Maybe they should play Jonathan Kuminga, but I'm not in the locker room. What?
That's a fact. What's going?
What?
Steve Kerr? We got to talk about Steve Kerr, man.
Steve Kerr needs to be
Can you hear me?
stopped, man. He's going to ruin this young man's career.
We gotta
Going
talk-
to?
we gotta talk
It's
about
over.
Steve Kerr.
His career
He's
is
making-
over.
He's making him look so whack.
Who,
Why
Kuminga?
are you doing this?
Bro, his career is over.
Why are you doing this, man?
That's a
He signed an
crazy
extension. He signed an
statement,
extension. He signed an extension. It's clipped.
Because he wants to win, and I understand.
His career is over. I think he's in Golden State for 3 more years.
bro.
That's
Listen,
gonna be his 7th year, I think.
Listen,
You're gonna trade him.
I'm telling y'all, you can't tell me without Jimmy Butler, this team's not hurting. They have no one else to take the pressure off of Steph Curry.
Yeah, but do the Rockets have enough?
They have
That's my
enough.
question.
They have enough
That's
to.
my
You don't need enough when all you got to do is run a double. They can even run a triple, and they would score.
I'm talking about offensively. Do the Rockets have enough?
Yes, because defensively, the Warriors also suck.
How are you? Do they
Listen,
have enough offensively?
Yes. Defensively, the Warriors suck without Jimmy.
Do you think? Listen, for them to beat the Warriors,
You know why?
Jalen-
Wait,
hold
I say
on.
they have enough-
For them to beat the Warriors, Jalen Green had to score 38, and he hit 8 threes. Is that happening again?
It could. Who's guarding him?
No. But let's talk about the player. Do we think Jalen Green is like that?
I don't know if he's like that or not. He clearly didn't.
Right.
What do you have game one?
Nada.
Not literally
He was
zero.
bad in game 1.
He was that. He looked like a young
wasn't
player
that-
in his first playoff game.
Facts.
Wasn't it his first playoff game?
But
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
but,
all right.
but
so-
Pharaoh.
He had. I'm answering this
Farrell.
question. He had 7 points on 3 of 15.
That's disgusting.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm
but-
buying the 38 points that he had in game 2.
I don't know if I'm buying it either. But let me tell you this: if Jimmy Butler's healthy in there, that's not happening. And I know
who's scoring.
But hold on,
it doesn't matter who's. Here's what I'm trying to tell you: the Warriors' defense breaks down so much when they don't have that second elite
Who
defender.
is going to score
It
on?
could be any, what I'm trying to tell you is it could be any of them.
I'm not
Hold
jacking
on.
that.
They can't guard a paper
I'm not
bag right now.
jacking
The
that.
Warriors cannot guard a paper bag right now. I'm trying to tell you.
Pharaoh,
Go ahead,
you
Paul.
know
Go
why?
ahead,
You
Paul.
know why Andre is right. I'm looking. You know what? I was just looking at this now. The rebounding numbers.
Ass.
They are,
That's
they
what
are-
I was
the
gonna
Warriors are getting washed on the rebounding front,
Yeah,
and they've been
Yeah.
getting washed all year.
because
when you have when you have a team that is that young and are going to make mistakes, and you might have a guy going 3 for 15,
Yep.
you feel more comfortable because you know if you miss, you're probably going to get the shot back because you're going to get the rebound.
Who's
That
gonna score on the
matters a
second-
lot.
Who's going to score on the second shot?
They have guys that can score on the second
I
shot.
don't. I don't.
It's not like
believe-
they were the second seed for a reason.
I don't. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't believe them. That's just where I
Listen,
stand with it. I don't believe them.
I respect it because
There's,
I kinda
there's
agree with
nothing.
you.
There's nothing for me to believe. None of the only guy who I believe is Fred VanVleet, and he's not even the one getting it going.
You believe
I don't
Fred?
believe-
Not yet. Not
I don't
yet.
believe none of these guys, bro. I don't believe in none. You have to prove it to me, bro. You're talking about their 3rd playoff game ever, and y'all are telling me they got guys that can score.
If I'm the Warriors,
I don't believe
shook.
it.
If I'm the
Hell
Warriors,
no.
I am shook.
Hell no.
I'm
Hell
shook.
no.
Here's
I
the
am
thing.
shook.
Here's the thing.
I'm
They don't
shook.
necessarily have guys that can cook, but when the defense is high school level, you don't need guys that can score it. You're gonna find buckets eventually.
High school
That's
level
the
is crazy.
Problem. You're gonna
You
fuck.
say disrespect.
You act like Draymond Green is not still out there.
Steph Curry and Draymond had the same amount of boards, 5, and they were the highest for the Warriors.
That's not gonna work, man. That's
That's
not gonna work. I'm
abysmal.
telling you.
You ought to be ashamed. Draymond Green, especially, could be
Well, how
ashamed.
about the fact that Kevin Looney only played 13 minutes?
And that
I
will
mean, that's
continue
another problem.
because that's Steve Kerr over there.
Tracy
Steve
Jackson
Kerr
Davis
got
only
copies
Tracy
over there.
Jackson Davis only played 4 minutes.
That's going to continue. That's going to continue. Like you said, with this, it's going to continue with Steve Kerr. That's what I'm trying to say. Like they play small on purpose. They have sold out to small ball this year.
It's bad.
It is what it is. So I don't see them go as far as they could if they had an actual big out there, or if they played their bigs, or they played Kuminga who could play big.
I think it's an adjustment, and we have to give grace to the fact that Jimmy got hurt mid-game. And they like you
Not even mid, it was first quarter.
Sure, but I'm saying you have a game plan, you have your rotation set, and then a guy that played 42 minutes in game 1 is out, right? Let's see if Kerr, he had 2 days to sit, prepare, know who's gonna play, know who's not. Let's put a little respect on the championship coach. If they adjust and they go big, who scores for Houston?
I'm not saying that it's like
I don't know if they're gonna go big.
But see, that's the thing. Like, they're not gonna go big, and it's not that like I'm saying it's a wrap for Houston. I'm saying that it's a series now, and it wasn't a series. It wasn't going to be a series originally. It is now a series.
Overreacting. Come on,
I think you're disrespecting the
series.
Rockets.
Series don't start till game
Rockets.
3. Y'all know that. Come on now. Series don't start till game 3.
Isn't it 2-1? Isn't it 2-1?
It's no game 3 is tonight. It's 1-1. That's what I'm saying. Y'all overreacting,
No,
bro. They got one
wait.
win when Jalen Green lost his mind. Like,
series start when the away team wins first. That's when the series starts for real. Not game 3. It's when the away team wins in the home arena.
It's generally
I know that's a saying. I know that's a saying. I think that's from an intensity standpoint. Well, I'm talking about X's and O's and adjustments. I think once teams have played each other 3 times, the coaches now have 3 games worth of film to figure out what they want to do. So in terms of like really being a IQ battle and a battle of game plan, after 3 games is when we really see who has figured out what they need to figure out.
I mean, I don't think it takes a lot of IQ to realize last game that your power forward, Jimmy Butler, is your power forward. He's getting you 7 boards a game.
Yeah, but the Rockets have no idea what the Warriors' game plan is without him yet. They haven't seen it.
I think the whole league knows what the game plan is. They don't have a plan.
We don't know. We have to see tonight. We have to see what Kerr draws up without.
I'm going to tell you right now. If I don't see Jonathan Kuminga in that starting lineup, it's a wash.
Allan?
Unless Jimmy gets back.
Hold on, Allan.
I'm interested in seeing if they, in fact, go big, because I was going to say that, because that's me, my Paul. Yeah. Yeah, hear me? Is my
yeah, you're good now.
You're good now. Yeah.
My friend?
You're good now.
Yeah, I was saying I'm interested in seeing if they go big, because just like Paul said, they let him go mad rebounds. The Rockets are getting a hell of a lot of offensive rebounds, and I think when you do that, their offenses have to be super sophisticated, because then they get a little bit of like scramble shots and stuff. So we're going to see. And another thing is, like, the Rockets have been mad physical with them too, and I don't know if I like this style of basketball, but it's working.
Let him finish, bro.
Sorry,
it's working a little bit, and I think one thing the Warriors need to do is they need to get more intentional with their offense. Specifically, like getting Curry to match up. So I'm not saying like they're right and wrong, Pharaoh, but I think what we need to see from Curry and everything, because I think you're right. I think we should respect Curry a little bit more. I think maybe me and Pharaoh might be the only 2 people left who respect Curry, because y'all saying this, and I have my group chat with my
homies don't respect
him. Huh?
So Jason Tatum don't respect him. I'll tell you that.
Rightfully so, but still.
Yeah.
I'm just
Tatum
saying,
should be the only person.
I'm just saying, when you got a coach like that, I'm at least want to see what his adjustment attempt is, right? You lose a star player in the game and you lose that game. I'm not about to judge you off that. If he's going to be out and you know he's going to be out and you have 2 days to prepare and we go into game 3 of the series and it's your first game at home, I want to see how that goes before I start saying whether
I got a question for Allan.
It's going to go, right? Like,
I got a question for Allan and Pharaoh, right?
Yeah.
If they don't fix this rebounding issue, do you believe that they will still win the series?
Possibly not.
If you remember,
that's not what I asked. Possibly not.
If you remember,
I reserve my opinion. One second, then you go, Allan. I reserve my opinion after game 3. I need to see at least 3 games. I gotta see the back and forth, right?
All right,
That's fair.
go ahead.
But
That's why I said, like, I
did
even though we lost last night, I'm not worried because I saw in game 3 that they didn't make any changes. We just weren't able to do what we did in game 2 because Luka was hurt. But our offensive success was still, like, for everyone else worked. Luka just couldn't take advantage of it. And then defensively, we were still forcing them into some tough situations, and they weren't making any changes. It just worked for them last night. So I'm not concerned because schematically, it looks like they didn't make any change. It just they got lucky that we weren't at 100% because we were still beating them for most of the game, but Luka couldn't close and Ant could, and that was the difference. Like people are gonna look at the score and be like, "Oh, they beat us by 12." No, it was a 10-point game in our favor for much of the game, and then even in the fourth quarter, it was literally a back and forth 2-point game, and they were able to make a run with Ant, and we weren't. So that doesn't concern me. I've seen 3 games now. I haven't seen Chris Fitch figure us out on how to defend us. And I've seen us be able to hold the temporal scoreless for long stretches.
We talking about the Rockets?
No, I'm just pointing out. I need 3 games.
Fair enough.
Right? And that's why I'm gonna go to the Nuggets Clippers. I've seen enough.
Wait, hold on, let Allan go.
Oh, my fault.
You good? I was gonna say I had the Rockets winning the series when we did like the predictions last episode, specifically because of like the rebounding issue. I didn't think Golden State was gonna go big at all the whole series, and I don't think they had the personnel to even out rebound Jabari Smith. And, and when Steve Adams in the game, it's over. They're not rebounding nothing either.
Nah, it's a fact.
So
yeah, but when they go big like that, their offense also suffers because Steven Adams is not a threat.
It does.
This is my point. Like everything y'all are saying makes sense, except for the fact that I don't trust any of these Houston guys to score.
When it's that glaring of a mismatch, though, sometimes it doesn't matter. Because it's not even like
a guy. If Şengün was a guy you could count on for 30, and if you could count on Jalen Green for 25, I'm with y'all. They haven't shown me that I can count on that.
Right.
And the last point I'll make about this series is too, like, Draymond, you gotta look at the basket, bro.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's been saying this for 17 years, bro. I'm done trying to think Draymond needs to be a scorer. When I say a scorer, like, come on.
No, but they've also had better offenses than when he's done that too. They don't have it no more.
We're gonna turn a guy in his 60th year into a scorer. That's what we're gonna do.
Nah, some of his best years scorers. He's had 30-point games.
He doesn't even have to be a scorer, but if
does he care about Stephen Curry or not?
If he just put up 10 points, it'd be good.
Here's the real question for Draymond: who is your real glorious king? Because you're trying to watch the Lakers. You're trying to watch the Lakers win, man. And we know what we're about to get. If he really rides for his dog, then we know what he should be doing. That's all I'm gonna say. Who's your real glorious king, Draymond?
Anyway,
that's crazy.
Speaking of 3 games, Nuggets Clippers, I've seen enough. Pack them up.
No, it's over. I'm sorry.
With the Colorado Kush. And I told y'all, what did I say about Jokic? I told y'all, what was he doing again that we haven't seen from him? He was popping off on his bench, right? Yep. I tried to tell y'all, I've seen it. I've seen the disarray. Y'all didn't believe me, but this man don't like his team, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
What you got to say, Clippers fans?
Fake. Y'all telling me this team is fake as hell.
Nah, honestly, I said it when I said
contender. He don't even think they're a contender. He popping off on them every time out. Y'all trying to tell me they're a contender?
Nah, everything I said about the Nuggets was true before I found out Kawhi Leonard was back.
Oh, bro, they would look at this in the regular season. They looked just like this in the regular season.
Nah, bro, not like this.
There is nothing. If you've been watching basketball, there is nothing surprising about what's happening right now. Not a single thing.
I'll tell you this: if they were going,
they looked all year. They looked like
they were going up against the Rockets right now. If they were going up against the Rockets right now, they'd look a lot better. I'm telling you this right now.
What does that mean, though?
That means the Rockets would not guard them. The Rockets wouldn't be able to do nothing to them. They're going against the Warriors and not looking.
Who are the Rockets? The Rockets are not this. Y'all gas.
I'm not gassing the Rockets. I'm telling you, having healthy Kawhi Leonard changes everything, man. I don't care what other people think about it. When the other guy on the other side is one of the greatest playoff performers we've ever seen, it's over, man. There's no one that can guard him. And James Harden is no longer choking in the playoffs. That's
It's the
also
first round. It's the first round.
James Harden used to choke
It's
game
the first. It's the
Harden
first.
used to choke
round.
game 1 of the playoffs.
That's
I've
not
seen
true.
him do it
That's
multiple
not true.
times. I've
No,
seen
you
him do
haven't.
it go
No,
2
you
for
haven't.
17.
You're
Go
gassing
yeah.
it. You're gassing it. His choking has always been in conference finals. Let's not do that.
I've seen him choke in the first round.
No, you have
I've seen him choke
not.
in the first round.
No, you have not. No, you have not.
What I will say,
I would actually challenge you to go find a time he's lost in the first round.
the Nuggets won a game already. It's only 2-1. That's all I'm gonna say.
How much did it take for him to win that game?
Hey, what
Let's talk about it. How
Josh-
much did it take for them to win that game?
It don't matter.
They were down 20 in that game, mind you. Mind you, they were down 20 in that game. The Clippers let that one go. It should be 3-0 right now. Real talk. The Clippers let that one go.
All right, let's make sure they don't let one go again because they still got that man, Nikola Jokic.
Bro, yeah. Are y'all watching the games, bro?
Listen,
Are y'all watching the Allan? Please.
I'm gonna say, y'all know I respect Jokic as much as anybody, but at a certain point, there's only so much he could do, bro. Like,
come on, man. Come on, man.
It's looking kind of scary for them. I'm not gonna
get a 60-point triple-double that they don't win.
If they, but that's a lot.
We watched it happen.
If he does it at his 2 and he wins, it's 2-2.
Bro,
he does, but then what happens after that? He gotta do that the whole series.
First of all, Ivica Zubac is exposing him. Let's talk about that.
How's he supposed to do?
I don't know about that.
Zubac is nice. Can we talk about that? Zubac is the most improved player in the game. Zubac is dead nice.
We know he. If you watch basketball for real, you knew he was nice. Him, Norman Powell, all of that.
He's exposing that if you put Jokic into rotation, you can get whatever shot you want.
Yeah, but he's always
okay. But we knew that, or that's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not exposing that. He's what's the word?
But
exploiting.
They're spamming it.
All right, no.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Have you ever been able to so definitively say and see that Jokic is the defensive issue of the Nuggets?
Yes.
Name the series you've seen that before.
Every time Anthony Davis played against him.
But that didn't allow us to. They won all those games. Notoriously won 12 straight games against us.
Right, but at the same time, he allowed his direct opponent to just go crazy.
That's different than what I'm saying. I'm not saying we haven't seen Jokic, because I'm not saying Zubac is individually dominating him. I'm saying Zubac is exposing that if you put Jokic into rotation as a team, you can get whatever shot you want.
Well, I'll say this:
the whole Clippers roster is cooking based on where they move Jokic. And Zubac's just mere threat. Zubac being a willing passer and a smart roller, he is putting Jokic into rotation, and and someone is wide open every possession.
Facts. Well, I'll say this, right? Like the Clippers might be the best team that he's played in the playoffs since the Lakers in the bubble.
That's a fact.
So that's why there's.
What does that tell you, though?
Well,
it's been sweet. It's been sweet for that boy. It's been sweet for that boy.
No,
it's been sweet
like
for that boy.
You know, Allan, you know this is where he was going, though. Allan, you know this is where he was going, though.
Wait, because the Timberwolves did the same thing last year. No, the Timberwolves did the same. So when he plays a real problem, what do we see? Right? And I'm not even trying to go at Jokic. I'm just talking about the Nuggets overall. Because when they won, you had a KCP out there, you had a Bruce Brown out there who can make up for that rotation because they're going to run out, they're going to be quick, they're going to close out with proper technique, right? You remove those guys and you rely on him being a rim protector or him being able to get out, wide open shots all day. All day.
And then they just got nobody for Kawhi. Like
zero.
Man, Clippers are a problem, boy.
Matter of fact, let me see the one game they won. What's the one game they won? Game one, very luckily, right? Super luckily.
Russ saved the game. Literally
so luckily. And what had to happen? Let's see.
Russ had to go crazy at the end.
Aaron Gordon had 25.
They made a lot of. Yeah,
that was the difference. Yeah. Aaron Gordon had 25, and Russ, on a terrible percentages, had 15. Yeah, and I know that's not happening again. If I'm Ty Lue, I already know that's not happening again. Yeah, man, it's over.
I mean, Jokic also.
I don't think the Nuggets win another game. I'm being dead ass.
Ooh, I don't know. Ooh,
That's tough.
I don't think they win another
6.
game.
MPJ would be the difference. This is something I would say.
9 shots in game 3.
MPJ, someone needs to talk to that boy and remind him that he's a 6'10" shooter.
That's not up to him.
The coaching staff, I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about it.
You got to
coach. There was a reason. There was a let's talk about it. Y'all was telling me, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. MPJ 9 point. Y'all niggas told me Mike Malone getting fired didn't matter, and they're still a contender.
I said that they were still a contender, but I didn't say it didn't matter. They're still a contender. Well, they were until I found out Kawhi's back. Now they're out.
Time out. So a player on another team is the difference between whether they are a contender or not?
Hell yeah.
You are disservicing our fans. You are disservicing our fans with these.
When the other guy's Kawhi Leonard, you're no longer a contender. You're a non-option. That's what happens. You become non-option.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you exactly.
I'm talking about the makeup of their team. They were never a contender. This roster off rip on paper and in real life through 82 games of regular season. They have never, not one day has this team been a contender. Not a single day.
You talking hot right now. You better make sure that the Nuggets don't win another game.
They're not going to. They're not going to.
I remember saying because Jokic, that was basically they could upset anyone, but that's not what a contender is. So
thank you.
And they're not contenders, but they always, like I said in the last episode, they always got a puncher's chance, which is a chance to upset anyone. But like when you fire a coach,
I'm sorry, Alan. Can we add this to the dictionary because we need to define a contender as well? But Alan, keep going.
That's on the dictionary for sure.
A contender is going to be a favorite. I have a way to make it make sense. A contender is a favorite in every series other than the finals.
Okay, so then that works on my definition because now that we know,
are they the favorite?
They're the favorite now because healthy Kawhi is back. I'm telling you, I'm talking
about the Nuggets.
They can't be the favorite when healthy Kawhi is in the mix.
Exactly.
They can't be the favorite.
Listen, there's no series in other than maybe the Rockets where the Nuggets would have been the favorite.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No. I'm trying to tell you that because they're not. Stop it. You done it 3 times. Hold on, no. You did it 3 times this episode, and I let it rock. Where you slid to the other side of what you were saying.
I didn't slice.
You've done it 3 times this episode, and I'm calling it out now. That's not what you were saying. That's what I said. I
literally said once I found out healthy Kawhi was in the series, everything I said about the Nuggets changed. That's what I started with. I said that last episode because I didn't know.
But Andre, that's one team. I'm saying there's only one team in the entire playoffs where they would be a favorite.
I agree. I don't know about what that because I think against the Warriors they also
nope
because they don't got a real center over there.
Not the favorite.
But I'll tell. I'm sorry, you can continue. But all I'm going to say is now that I know again with Kawhi Leonard,
you continue and then said all I'm going to say is
all I'm going to say is you're right. They're not the contender. But that's because Kawhi Leonard's here. Healthy Kawhi Leonard's here.
They were never a contender. Go ahead.
They were a contender when healthy Kawhi Leonard was not.
Clippers fans are scary. Look at this comment. These Clippers fans are scary.
No, he's protecting his mental health. And I respect that. I live that life. I live that life with a certain player where, listen, I don't care how good it looks. I have to guard myself from heartbreak.
Yeah.
No one knows that better than LA fans. I have to guard myself from heartbreak.
I'll tell you this. Kawhi gets
2021.
Because that last
2022.
Comment, let me tell you something. You keep saying, "Oh, you can't change your whole take." If Kawhi Leonard's not here, the whole take changed. We just saw it with the Warriors with Jimmy Butler. One player changes everything. So help
determine whether someone is a contender or not.
It does because a lot of it is a matchup thing. A lot of it is a matchup.
Yeah, a contender isn't dependent on one singular matchup with another team. You can't become
It could be.
No, nice hoopty though.
That makes no sense.
Like
Allan,
Kawhi being injured or not affects whether the Clippers are a contender. That can't affect if the Nuggets are a contender. That's why it's not making sense what you're saying.
That makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense.
It affects them because they could be a contender because if they go against
it affects them. It affects whether they're the favorite in the series, but that doesn't make them a contender. You know what I mean?
We just
Like,
said
it'll-
a contender is whoever the favorite is in the series.
Who?
In
They're
all
no. I said
series.
if they're a favorite in every series except
all
Oh, in
the
every
finals,
series. Okay, then all right. Then y'all got it.
where I would pick them against
y'all-
almost every. A contender is I'm gonna pick them against almost every other team except maybe
Yeah.
the other contender.
Exactly.
Okay.
The
all right.
Thunder and the
Y'all got
Celtics
it.
are
Y'all got it.
contenders. I'm picking the Thunder. Well, I'm not. I'm picking the Thunder against every team other than the Lakers and Celtics. I'm picking the Celtics against every team other than the Thunder and the Lakers. Those are contenders in my eyes.
I got you. Okay. All right. So then you're right.
That's
And I've
one.
never, ever been willing to pick the Nuggets over almost every other team. The only team I would pick them over is maybe the Rockets. And maybe the Warriors too. That's it. Every other team, I'm picking the other team.
You want to
Every
pick them
single
over
one.
the Grizzlies?
No, well, yes, sure. But they're come
Okay.
on. I mean,
You want to pick them over the Pistons? Now, we can go through the list. You want to pick them over the Heat? You want to pick them over the Hawks? So that's most of the teams.
the Hawks aren't in the playoffs.
Are they not? Oh, you're right. My fault. I'm at
What
the
are you
Heat.
talking
My
about?
fault.
What are we
I'm at
talking
the
about?
Heat. My fault. I'm at the
What are you
Heat.
talking about, bro?
You want to pick them over the Magic?
Andre, look at
Actually,
that.
I thought
Not necessarily, bro. Not necessarily. Not necessarily,
No,
bro.
I'm picking over the Magic. I'm picking over
Yeah.
the Magic.
I think it's
That's
going
crazy.
six. I think it's going six, though.
That's crazy.
But
Paolo
that's
take a
what I
step?
feel like.
Does Paolo
I'll
take
just-
a step? Does Paolo take a step?
He might. He's been averaging like 20.
All of a sudden,
If Paolo takes a step, it might get scary for the Nuggets.
It might get scary for a lot of teams if Paolo takes a step. I'm not going
We
to.
said this already.
They let me tell you something. The Magic find a real point guard. It's
They
different.
have four. That's not what they need.
They don't. None of them are real point guards. None of them are true facilitators, except for Franz, who's not really a point guard either.
Except for their starting point guard.
Their starting point
They
guard.
just need health. They just need health.
Their starting point
and
guard's not their starting point guard.
They just need health, and they need some better rim protection. Wendell Carter is okay, but he gets killed on switches. He's turning into Rudy Gobert, which is what you don't want to be.
oh,
Am I lying? Am I lying?
We're gonna find a way to shoot at Rudy.
Wait, but real talk. Is that a bad take?
Yeah.
I'm asking
No,
genuinely.
you're not lying.
No.
No, you're
Like
not lying.
Wendell Carter, he better figure out how to move those puppies, or that's what he's becoming.
That's
That's
mad.
the title.
nah,
But-
he's not gonna be cool. He's gonna go on the bench.
Oh, I haven't heard you much on this Nuggets Clippers series. What say you?
I know you forgot.
Hold
I
on, before
said-
you go, Allan's been trying to make a point because I cut him off when we started the tangent.
I was just gonna say, like, I think the key for them is the offense, because just like I was saying, like, in the defense, like, Jokic is gonna get, if they keep doing the pick and roll thing with Jokic guarding the pick and roll, he's gonna get killed every time. But the Nuggets did a good job in taking him off that and switching the matchup. But then that's the game Kawhi killed, because then he's just able to just go
Can't hide
and
him.
get the matchup that he wants. You can't hide him. I mean, no, well, that's the thing. They didn't. Jokic was not the one guarding him, but no, you're right. You're right. They can't hide him. They can't
When
hide
you
him.
put him into when you put Jokic, we're just gonna find wherever he
Yeah.
is slow to get to. Wherever
Yeah,
he
it's-
has to get
it's not-
to, the ball's gonna get there before he gets there.
The problem is it's not just Jokic too, though. It's also Jamal Murray. So when you
Murray's
got
bad.
two of those,
100%.
when you got two players who can't do the pick and who can't guard the pick and roll like that, and you have an offensive talent like James Harden and Kawhi,
And you have Ty Lue, who is the greatest hunting coach
Exactly.
in the NBA. He will find
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
That's
But they were never going to win this like playing extraordinarily well defense. But a big problem is also like they're not good on offense, and they came to game 3, and I don't think they had really a good plan. I couldn't really tell what the plan was in game 3. In game 1 and game 2, they were able to like
Jokic win it
counter.
for us. It's the plan.
Yeah, but even then, like have something around him that works. Because in game 1, I think it was they
got lucky.
switched it up and like they put him in like the what do you call it, like the foul line, and he
Yeah.
posted up from there.
Yeah.
Game 2, they was doing a bunch of inverted pick and rolls. They was doing a bunch of all this other stuff. But game 3, I feel like they didn't do anything to put him in position to succeed. They just kind of gave him the ball and was like, go to work.
Well, I also think the
But-
Clippers adjusted to, and they pushed him out of those spots. Which
That's facts.
if you have a big enough center, you can do. Dwight Howard showed us that you can push Jokic off his spot,
That's
and you
facts.
can determine where you want him to catch it. High key, that's what we did to him all the times too. Jackson Hayes was strong enough. We determined where he caught it.
That's facts. Oh, and last thing I'll say, I put in my notes. I saw that they were doing. I think I texted y'all this too. I saw that they were doing a 1-2-2 zone. I think that kind of worked out pretty well for them. They didn't do it for too long, but maybe experiment with that a little bit more. But we'll see.
High key, JJ Redick has to learn a little bit of that at Ty Lue. Sometimes his offense is a little too egalitarian, and we need to hunt people because Rudy is getting off the hook a lot in this series.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of memes. I've seen a lot of memes about Rudy this year.
Because
you got that every postseason. You got that every postseason.
He's been doing a pretty good job, I think, on hedging, not falling for the bait.
They're just Chris Finch just finally realized to just not let them switch. Yeah. do not let us ISO that man. Also, Mike Conley, we're trying to kill him too, which I thought was pretty genius. Yes. And he got tight and started to lock up, but Austin Reeves mostly killed last night because Conley can't do anything with him. And that's also where I think they're not going to be able to fix that.
I mean, Conley is a point guard, and Austin Reeves is a shooting guard at best. So, but anyway,
what's the part of time though?
Not on a guard that size.
He was first team.
He was first team. He was good.
Austin Reeves is 6'4", 6'5".
I just think he's old, man. I think he could have done it once upon a time.
My Conley's short. I'm talking about my.
Throw that coming back up. We love some good Rudy hate. Yeah. 300 million. So what? Robbery, theft.
This is what I'll say. Right?
That's hate.
Just as how you said we need to give some grace to Steve Kerr because of his championship pedigree and all of that, I'm giving grace to the greatness that is Nikola Jokic. Don't let him get activated. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's active. He just can't do it by himself.
He's not active.
That's my point.
He had 26, 11, and 10 and lost in game 2.
And we know that's light for him. We know that.
All right, what did he do game 3? Know that. Let's look at that. Let's look at what he did in game 3.
I think he had like 24. I think it was like 24. You know that man can go for 35, 40.
He can't score on double teams, though, bro. We've established it. He's not like that.
So therefore,
he had 23, 13, and 13. That's what's going to happen. He's not going to get these teams are not going to let him get 40, bro. Someone else has to shoot the ball.
So again, championship pedigree, right? They have guys that's been there on that team.
Who?
Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun.
What is Aaron Gordon going to do?
What is he going to do? Score?
He went 6-6. He got 16 shots last game. He went 6-16. Is that getting better?
What if he goes 10 for 16? What if Christian Braun
is he going to go 10 for 16?
What if MPJ gets 8 threes? What if MPJ hits 8 threes in a game? You act like this team is just whack.
They're whack.
Paul, that's what he's saying. Paul, that's what he's saying. If they step up and do that stuff, yeah, that's better. But we saying he's out here doing it by himself right now.
They haven't stepped up all year.
Well, they are a championship pedigree team. Just like
a lot of that championship DNA is not on the team anymore.
Caldwell Pope is
people keep ignoring that. People keep ignoring that. It's not just KCP. It's KCP. It's Bruce Brown. It's DeAndre Jordan, which is why you see they threw him in for a little bit in the last game.
Who's on the team?
But he don't play no more.
What if they start? See, they got. Listen, man.
Wasn't it also Paul Millsap? Wasn't he out there?
Before You go way back.
No, that was when Joker was
but guys, you're acting like two players. You're acting like two players can't make or break a team. Us losing KCP and Alex Caruso killed our championship DNA. So I don't want to hear KCP, but no, you lose a KCP and Bruce Brown, the identity of your team is changed. This is not the same team. It's not. And you see how KCP got the magic going.
Neither are the Warriors, but like you said, you're giving grace because of the championship pedigree.
I'm also looking at but I'm also looking at the opponent.
You disrespecting the Rockets. You really don't rate the Rockets.
I don't rate the Rockets.
Done anything? What have they done?
They were second seed.
In the playoffs. What have they done?
In order to get to the playoffs, you have to be good.
We're here now. What have they done?
They gotta do it.
Which is why my stance overall in that series is what? Let me at least see 3 games, right? So I'm not disrespecting them. I want to see what they got. Let me see what they got.
All right, you see 1-1. You see a rebounding differential that's OD.
2 games. That's my whole argument with that series. It's been 2 games, Let me see what they've done. The Nuggets and the Warriors. The Nuggets and the Clippers. I've seen those teams in the playoffs. I know what they do. And I know that this Nuggets team is not the same. And I saw it last year because they lost those guys prior to last year. And we saw them get dismantled.
Listen, I understand we're on the high right now when it comes to the Clippers, and we're like, oh, it's a wrap. They don't look good.
Oh, I'm not riding the Clippers. I'm looking at what's happening right now, and I'm saying I've seen enough. I'm saying the Nuggets don't have enough. The Nuggets don't have enough. What happens to the Clippers the next series is a whole different conversation. I'm saying right now the Nuggets don't have enough to beat that team. I'm not on no high with the Clippers.
I'm
saying Lil Bro. I'm sending Lil Bro on a dummy mission. Yo, go handle that. Go handle that. Handle that.
Listen, all I'm saying is they have enough to make it a series, and I think they just have to get it out of them. They do have enough to make it a series. You said they're not winning another game. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 6 or 7.
That I don't agree with.
That's crazy. That's a crazy take.
6 or 7.
That's a crazy. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Answer me that. You'd be shocked.
No, I wouldn't. No,
okay, then. Okay.
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked that they can't win one more game.
To be honest, I would not be shocked.
At all. I would not be shocked.
But I wouldn't be shocked if it was 6 or 7 either. It feels like you would be shocked.
I'd be shocked if it went 7.
Exactly.
6, no. 6. I could see this series being either 5 or 6. They find a way to win 2 more games. I'm shocked.
There's a pathway.
And it'll be James Harden's fault.
Speaking of which, he got smoked. The Clippers fans got smoked, man.
Man, that's right.
We will. That out. We will. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
now,
that.
what happens if the Lakers don't?
He said, don't watch that.
I'm putting that all on Luka being sick during game 3.
Wow.
100%.
So they can't handle Ant-Man for the next 2 games. That's gonna be because Luka was sick game 3. What's that got to do with one another?
The difference between 2-1 going one way and 2-1 going the other way. The Clippers are 2-1 going their way. So yes, I'd be shocked they win another game. It's 2-1 the other way.
Nah, I believe in the Nuggets. I just believe in the Nuggets. It's not so much about the Clippers, about the Nuggets.
I agree, no, Matt. I think you don't believe the Clippers can pack them up.
No, I just said I don't. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I agree. I know. I'm just talking.
Oh, all right.
I'm just talking.
Hey, we got to talk about the Bucks though. We got to talk about Giannis, man.
Oh, the Bucks.
I was wondering if we wanted to get to them. That series just don't put no excitement in my heart for real. It's a good series, but like the Pacers don't get me hype, bro. I don't like their style of play. It's good basketball. It's just not entertaining. I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's good offense.
It's great basketball. It's just not entertaining. I just don't enjoy watching.
It's not so much about the series. It's about the impact that it would have on Giannis's career. Like you're gonna lose again in the first round to the Pacers.
It's not his fault though. Again, I haven't. Dame, where's Dame?
I picked the Pacers.
Where is the Dame? Where is the Dame that would have did what Steph Curry does?
Where's Dame time?
When
does Dame time start?
Where is he?
Not there.
When does Dame time start?
I want to know. Where the hell is Chris Middleton?
Bro, that's funny as hell.
Where is Dame?
When does Dame time start? What time is it?
No, react. Podcasters react. Where is Dame?
Not here. I don't know where that
has been non-existent. But to be fair, he also just came back.
And he was sucking all that.
He was
talking
crazy.
In
savings time.
In savings time. Hall of Fame comment. Hall of Fame.
Oh, man.
It's Dame's saving time.
Yo.
I think we do have to start putting some respect on Pascal Siakam. I think Pascal would be the missing team on a lot of teams for a chip. You put Pascal on the Nuggets, I think they might win the chip.
I don't know, Pascal. Pascal,
I'm not mad at that.
But he's not what's.
Yes. Replace Aaron Gordon with Pascal Siakam. Contender.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Well, he's a better 3-point shooter, but I mean,
he's a better player. Period.
Well, yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. But is Pascal Siakam the reason that the Pacers are winning?
If Pascal was on the Rockets instead of Dylan Brooks, then I would say they packed the Warriors up.
Because let me tell you, Giannis is playing out his mind. They have no.
Why are we shouting out Dylan Brooks?
I don't hate Dylan Brooks like the way y'all do. I respect Dylan Brooks as a player. I like 3-and-D guards, man.
Is he a guard or is he just a
real
trash?
real quick for all them mandem that's really tapped in up north and know what it is. Just know on this side he could keep her.
I don't know what this man's
I
talking
don't know
about.
what that means.
The owl is not concerned about that. The owl been moved off that. He could keep her, bro. Don't worry, y'all not tapped in on Toronto culture.
I'm not tapped in.
I have no idea what you're talking
about. Y'all don't know what's going on with the Cronies.
Dylan Brooks a waste suit.
Yeah, but if she choosing, bro, just know that Al don't care. She could stay there.
I don't care.
Who is Al, man? Tell me that.
He said Al.
I don't care.
Al.
Yo, no man, chill. No man,
Al, big birds.
Al,
big birds. Big birds, Andre. Al.
Talking about owls.
Yes.
Owls? That's what
like fowls. Yes.
Yeah, like fowls. Owls. The same word with an L.
October's very own.
October's very own. He's not concerned. He's not concerned with the gal them that's on that side. She can stay there.
What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand the context. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I forgot who the gal them is. It?
What?
No.
I don't even,
all right, read back. Listen, just know, Dylan Brooks and the Al were trading a ting, and after game 2, Dylan Brooks posted on his story the ting in his room. She can stay there.
Oh, I see.
Word, Dylan Brooks. I was unfamiliar with your game.
Who? He would do that though. Dylan Brooks would do that. I'm not surprised. But anyway,
and that's corny.
It
is corny, but I was not familiar with his game.
Mad corny. I was unfamiliar with his game, but also I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. This isn't impressive.
But all I try to understand the context of my Dylan Brooks. Hey, he came at my man's. He came at both my mans actually.
Who you come at?
LeBron, you can't disrespect LeBron and get love from me for the rest of your career. Are you dumb?
Unless
you're Lance Stevenson, because born ready, Brooklyn, Coney Island, you already know what it is.
LeBron is your man's. LeBron
and you came over
joined the Lakers,
and you came over to our side, so I respect that.
LeBron
Same thing with Matt Barnes. It was Matt Barnes K, but then he came on to our side.
So now he's
it was Ron Artest K, but then he came on to our side, so it's all Gucci.
I gotta log off, so y'all gotta. We wrapping up?
Anything else about the Bucks Pacers?
What you got to say about the Bucks? What you got to say about Giannis, Andre?
All I gotta say is he's playing out of his mind, and I don't know if Siakam's doing a damn.
Like Giannis. He's playing like Giannis.
Giannis is playing like he's the best player in the world. That's what he's playing like, and his team is failing. All that shit that we were saying. Listen, this is reminiscent of those early Jordan. That nigga's playing out of his mind, and he has zero help. Somebody help! This is how we started the podcast. Somebody help him, man! He's been
the best. He's been the best playoff player ever since he won. I keep trying to tell y'all that, and y'all want to acknowledge that this man's teams have been trash and hurt.
He needs to get up out of it. He keeps signing extensions.
Game 2, he had 34-11. He had 34, 18, and 7 on 14 of 20 from the field. In 40 minutes.
That's nasty business.
The Bucks are wasting.
What?
The Bucks are wasting. That's why I wanted to talk about this. Like the Bucks are wasting his prime. Man.
OD.
They are high key.
Send that man to Golden State. He's gonna fix all their problems.
And they've only got a few good years left. Let's talk about it.
It's time to pack up.
When are they gonna start?
That's the question.
When are the good years that he has left going to start?
Oh.
Probably in 2 years.
I think it's a bad situation on the Bucks. That's what I think. They replaced Drew Holiday with Dame. Like, what do you do?
That's a bad decision.
Like, what do you do? You replace a defender like Drew Holiday with Dame.
You know, it's the Blazers' fault. They should have just let him go to Miami, man. They should have just let him go to Miami. I would so rather enjoy watching Dame and Jimmy right now.
Yeah, because if he was there, Jimmy would probably beat it.
Yeah, man. And that would be so fun.
Wild.
That would be so fun. This is nasty. This is nasty.
The Bucks don't play perimeter defense like at all. No. And on the other end, their offense is really
why is Gary Trent Jr. winning games for you?
Yeah. It's actually watching like two opposite like offenses. Like the offense basis is mad like sophisticated. They doing hella actions, you know what I mean? Like they do 3, 4, 5 actions sometimes in one possession. And on the other side, you get a simple pick and roll or whatever, and it's just not enough. So,
you know what's crazy? Guess who was a top 5 player performer just maybe 3 years ago?
Tell me.
Dame? Ooh.
That was the one man that nobody wanted to see in the playoffs. Do we remember that?
Yeah.
How Portland was an upset threat no matter what matches they were in.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
He had
remember that.
he had
That's a
Austin Rivers praying to his creator. Do we remember that?
Yes.
Yes. I forgot about
He had
that.
Austin Rivers praying to his creator. he was telling the coach, please leave me. Tell him to leave me alone.
I remember, he finally missed a shot and Austin Rivers said,
Thank God.
yo, that was so fun. I forgot about that.
Thank the Lord, man.
I hope Austin Rivers brought that up on the interview, Dan.
He did.
That's crazy.
Did he? That's
I
Yeah.
bad.
gotta watch that one.
Get off your knees.
Whoa.
Whoa, come on, man. Bro, I thought you was logging off.
Don't say that in an interview. You're interviewing this man. Remember when you had me praying to God? No, what? Nah.
No, he's retired. It's
I don't
all
care.
he's retired.
I don't care, man. I don't care. That's next.
Wait,
That's
bro, the
next.
Knuckleheads podcast motto is all based off. They start every interview with every player ever with who was the first person to bust your ass, and
Yes.
every legend you've ever loved in your life has answered that question honestly.
Jeff Teague violates himself
Except-
on
Oh, you
every
said
episode.
legend. You said legend, but yeah. There's only one person who didn't answer that question.
Who
You can
was
probably
it?
guess it's not a legend. Patrick Beverly.
I knew it. I knew it.
He's the one person out of everybody.
Ain't nobody ever bust my ass. I know.
Kobe answered the question. Ray
Who
Allen.
did Kobe answer the question and said besides Mike?
I'll pull it up right now.
Did he say besides Mike?
No.
He definitely did. When you're retired, it's different. It's just that.
Yeah,
Austin
bro,
Rivers
it's all
just
love,
retired.
bro.
Like, it doesn't feel like he retired.
Well,
It
the
doesn't feel
statement,
like
I'm saying it to the statement was
that's crazy.
where one of these other players saying you had me praying to the Lord above to stop this.
No,
What?
but what I'm saying is when
That's
these players
Same
answer the
sentiment.
question, they put sauce on how much they got cooked.
Same sentiment. Yep.
The sentence itself is neck to me, but
No,
yeah,
but
I
I'm saying like when they answer the question, like who the first person about, they say like, yo, he torched me, yo, he
I can
messed
respect
me
that.
up. He
I can respect that. No, I can respect that. I can't respect you telling another man you had me praying to the Lord above, man. Nah, forget that. Choose a different wording.
Come on, man.
Choose a different wording, man. I'm not wrong here.
But maybe, but it was literally the case, and we all saw it. That's
That's
why.
about no. What if
You know
it's
what I mean?
literally you was literally praying to God? Please don't
Like
let this
he-
man cook me on this court. Please don't, dear God.
That's
Let
why
him go
that's
50% instead of
different.
75, please.
He didn't just tell him that. He was like, that literally happened. We were all
I wouldn't even acknowledge that publicly. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, Allen
Okay.
Iverson answered the question. He said KJ gave him 39, 9, and 9.
That's
Word,
not the
yeah.
same thing, man. I'm telling
No,
you.
and then he said, and then he said, and I
told you
wait,
my issue
Andre,
was.
can I tell you the rest of the quote? He said,
Sure.
because it was Kyle Lowry and Allen Iverson on the pod. They said, Kyle, who was the first person to bust your ass? He said, this man to my right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they said,
Please.
Allen, who was the first person to bust your ass? He said, KJ gave me 39, 9, and 9, and I was actually crying
Oh,
on the
no.
bench.
Yeah.
That's Kevin
damn.
Johnson.
That's crazy.
Kevin Johnson is not a superstar.
Wilson
So-
Chandler said it was when Kobe gave him the
Who cares
6.
what Wilson Chandler says?
He
You
said
know
it was.
Kyrie said? Yeah,
What
y'all know
kind of
who
Knicks
Kyrie
fan are
said?
you? Man, go log off. What do you mean? Who cares about what Wilson Chandler said?
Not like that. Not like that. I mess with Wilson Chandler. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Kyrie said Jose Calderon.
Yeah, bro. Like,
Jose
Calderon.
Calderon.
That's what I like to hear. Come
That
on.
man was nice. though.
Pat
He was
Bev
nice.
said I don't remember.
like, come on, man.
He's a hater, man.
They gotta listen to somewhere of all the players that these guys listen.
I'm trying to find a list. I'm just watching the
Compilation.
yeah, but I'm trying to
Oh,
see if I could
nah,
get a
you're quick.
list. I can't find
Kobe's
Kobe's clip.
pulling up mad quick.
Hey, I'm a producer on this pod as well. I could try to tell you. But Dwayne Wade said Baron Davis.
Yeah, that's understandable.
KD said Melo.
That's
I like it when they tell us like someone you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard that already.
That's
Saying
fine.
Kevin Johnson's crazy.
Dame was
Who's
Kendrick
this?
to Austin's Drake.
What?
One more time.
Dame was
Dame was Kendrick to Austin.
I got what
Austin
he's-
Reeves. I got what you're
I got what
saying.
you're
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to give me right real quick. Let's see who
Austin
says.
Reeves.
Also, it's
No,
crazy.
Rivers.
Kobe and Quentin Richardson, I think, are low key supposed to be the same size, and Kobe looks like a big, just a giant man in this room. Nick Van Exel in
Yeah.
practice. Nick Van Exel in practice. He said was the first person that got me.
Yeah, that would make sense.
He said he kept saying, "You reach, I teach," and he said, and he kept teaching me. He was hitting me with that little bop stuff, and it drove me crazy. My first time getting out there and playing, Nick went at me pretty hard. He was aggressive.
Anyway,
Yeah.
going
So
Well,
your
let's see,
GOAT can admit that people bust his ass. So relax on Austin Rivers.
It's not about like you can say somebody's better than you. I cannot admit publicly another nigga had me praying to him to stop.
Andre.
I'm just saying.
I
don't care. I don't care.
It's all deflection because he's the pause MVP. He's looking for anyone to be in the pause spotlight more than him. So
That's
he
not
can
true.
move, so he can move off the spot.
I said, get off your knees.
That was just an initial reaction.
That was really a wild thing to say.
That came out of nowhere. I didn't expect that.
It's all deflection. It's still you, brother. You still hold the trophy 2 years running.
That's fine.
You're the Nikola Jokic of pause.
That's crazy.
You average a triple double in pause.
That's crazy.
But anyway, all I'm saying is with Giannis.
Yeah, let's wrap up Giannis.
I think. This is my drag the podcast on a while, and we gotta go. But
I don't got time for that.
We're gonna let it go. Whatever you say, we're gonna let it go.
Listen, do y'all even want Giannis to be traded? Because part of Giannis, but part of Giannis's allure is his.
That's gone. You know my stance on that. That persona of his is out the window.
I want him to be on a contender.
He's still at the end of the day on the same. He's at the end of the day. He spent his whole career there. So
I want him on a real contender where we're able to see him really competing for a chip. The product of basketball that he's producing individually is so great, and it gets minimized because he's in a small market that's not doing anything.
He should follow the lead of the other great Bucks center who won their first chip in Milwaukee. And then went on to greatness.
No. I'm tired.
There was a great blueprint that was laid out by that man who at that time was Lou Alcindor. He should follow that blueprint.
Change his name too.
Giannis should go turn Muslim.
He should ask his family to tell him what his Yoruba name is.
No, that'd be interesting. Nah, you're going in right now.
How hard would that be, yo? If he popped up as a Laker with a nice name,
be a Laker, man.
But think about it from a marketing perspective. If he popped up in LA and repped as a Niger,
I am no longer Greek.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll fuck with that. I'm messing with that.
I don't believe it too. Hey.
What's his new name? He can't be the Greek freak no more. So what is he?
Giannis.
Hold on.
The Nigerian.
My name is Giannis.
What's on his podcast? They're going.
Wait, no. His name would be Adana Ifateo.
Hey.
Olutosin.
Shout out
Put that
to
on the back of a
Magic,
jersey.
man.
It's shorter. Put it on the back of the jersey, man.
Hold on. I want to see if there are G names.
That's
So
crazy.
he keep his initials. Yoruba names with a G.
Well, what's his new? If that happens,
Actually, his name is already not. They just changed the spelling. It's like originally it is Nigerian.
All right, let's. He's gonna go back to his Nigerian spelling. Giannis.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah.
Giannis Nigerian name, which is a crazy thing to type in Google, but
Giannis, this is it.
yeah. He should go back to being Giannis Ugosina Adetokumbo.
Hell yeah.
Giannis Ugosina Adetokumbo.
Hey.
Imagine, bro.
He's no longer the Greek
Back to
freak
my
at that
proper
point.
name.
Is he?
Hey.
Giannis Ade. They start calling him Ade.
Ade?
They start calling him Ade. Ade.
Shout out to the Nigers, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's all love.
Giannis, this is it.
Is it?
Giannis born again.
Y'all see the last comment?
Yeah, of course. It don't matter. We're allowed to talk that.
Yeah, good thing we're not white.
Yeah, good thing we're not. I'm now manifesting that. I'm manifesting that Giannis pops up in LA and starts going by his.
He's not going to LA, but he goes back to his roots. He's showing up in New York, Chicago, Detroit. One of them places, man. That's all.
He going to the Rockets.
Houston. The Rockets in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
Hang on with his Nigerians in Houston.
Yeah, his Nigerians in Houston.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see the connection. He would thrive in Houston too, honestly.
You see what I'm saying?
He would thrive in Houston.
Hakeem Olajuwon?
No. Keep that man somewhere where he can be safe and a family man. Don't send that man down to Houston.
What you talking about? Houston is mad wholesome, right?
LA is better. LA is better.
It can be. Go to the hills. Go to Brentwood. Stay out the mix. You can't stay out the mix in Houston.
Where'd LeBron be saying?
Say Milwaukee if that's the case.
That's a fact.
Anyway, yo, thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next week. Playoffs is lit. We out. Light it up.
Don't send the man to Memphis.
No, I want him to stay free. I don't want him to end up in jail.
Oh shit! Peace out, y'all. I'm watching playoffs.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allan, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm to run the fast break. Throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break. Throw me the outlet.